नमस्कार. मी स्नेहा केतकर. मित्रमंडळ बंगळुरूतर्फे आपल्या सर्वांचं स्वागत करत आहे. आजचा विषय तुम्ही जर का ऐकलात तर तुम्हाला वाटेल स्पार्क जॉय इन युअर होम बाय ऑर्गनायझिंग. बाय ऑर्गनायझिंग माझ्या वयाच्या सगळ्या मैत्रिणी म्हणतील की अगं आम्ही हे काम तर कायमच करतोय. पण आज ह्या कार्यक्रमाची नितांत गरज आहे असं मला वाटतं. कारण सांगते. कारण असं की आज आपण आपल्याला प्रॉब्लेम ऑफ प्लेंटी हा आहे आपल्याकडे. हातात पैसे असतात, हातात फोन असतो. घराच्या बाहेरही न जाता आपण अनेक गोष्टी दिसली म्हणून आवडली म्हणून घेतो. आपल्या दाराशी त्या गोष्टी येऊन उभ्या राहतात. अशा वेळेला कधी कधी आपण अनेक गोष्टी उगाचच विकत घेतो. आपल्याला मग कधी कधी असं वाटतं अरे च्या, ही गोष्ट आपल्याला खरंच गरज आहे का या गोष्टीची. हो नाही करता करता आपल्या घरात इतक्या गोष्टी जमा होतात आणि मग घर पसरलेलं दिसतं. ते कसं आवरायचं हा एक मोठा प्रश्न असतो. आपल्याकडे अशी एक म्हण आहे, हात फिरे तिथे लक्ष्मी ठरे. आपलं घर जर का प्रसन्न असेल, स्वच्छ असेल, अशा घरी लक्ष्मीचा वास असतो, अशी लहानपणापासून आपल्यावर संस्कार झालेले असतात. पण जेव्हा अशा अनेक गोष्टींनी घर भरलेलं असतं, ओसंडून वाहत असतं, तेव्हा ते कसं आवरायचं, काय ठेवायचं, काय नाही ठेवायचं, अशा सगळ्या गोष्टी घरच्या गृहिणीसमोर फेर धरून नाचायला लागतात. आणि गृहिणीसमोरच कशाला, तरुण मुलं मुली त्यांच्या जर का तुम्ही रूम्स पाहिल्या तर त्याही ओसंडून वाहत असतात. घर नीट आवरल्याशिवाय मन लागत नाही, काम सुचत नाही. अशा वेळेला आपण एक मदतनीस घेऊ शकतो. स्माइलिंग स्पेसिस ही प्राची चौला हिने सुरू केलेली कंपनी आहे. मेरी कॉन्डो हे नाव कदाचित अनेकांनी ऐकलं असेल. घर लावणं ही तिची स्पेशालिटी आहे. कसं लावायचं, कसं व्यवस्थित लावायचं आणि हे आपलं घर कसं हसरं बनवायचं, हे आता आपल्याला सांगणार आहे प्राची चावला. ती कॉनमरी कन्सल्टंट आहे आणि ह्याविषयी आता ती स्वतःच आपल्याला सगळी माहिती देणार आहे. तर मी सादर करत आहे प्राची चावला.
Thank you, Snehaji. Good morning, everyone. I am Prachi Chowla, and I'm a professional organizer who helps people tidy up their homes and offices. I'm here to chat about how we can organize our home in such a way that we never have to spend substantial time organizing it again. I would like to thank Mitra Mandal to give me this opportunity to discuss decluttering and tidying up, something that is close to my heart. So tell me, how many of you struggle with the following? Struggle to find clothes in the cupboard? Find the mess in the kitchen so overwhelming that you shudder at the thought of cooking. You'll end up buying duplicates because you can't find the things when you need them. Looking for anything stresses you out. And most importantly, you're unable to relax at your home. I would request you to share the challenges that you face due to clutter at home. You can share these via the comment section. Now we need to first understand why we accumulate clutter at home. The most significant reason is that the number of things in our house far exceeds the storage space that we have. Thus, these things are strewn around the house, making it look untidy. The other factor is that there is no space allocated for things in our house, which means that even if we want to tidy up, we simply don't know where our things should be kept. For example, old newspaper. If we have no space to store old newspaper or a system to discard them regularly, the pile will build up, making your living room look untidy. Third, some of us simply don't put back the things where they are supposed to be kept after use, making our home look cluttered even if there are not too many things. So, why else do you think our home becomes cluttered? Please share your views via the comment section. Our homes are a personal sanctuary. It is a place where we unwind after a long day of work. At the time of pandemic, when we are working from home, it is also the place where we need to be focused and productive. But when it is cluttered with endless things, it blocks the flow of positive energy into our home and somewhere it mirrors the clutter in our mind. However, As we tidy up, we feel serene and optimistic. I help my clients organize their home and offices following the principles laid down by Marie Kondo. For those of you who are not aware, she is the tidying expert from Japan and has written many books on it. She became quite popular after her Netflix series Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. Her principles regarding tidying up are simple and easy to implement. She believes that tidying up your house will also help you declutter your mind and life. But most important thing is you need to totally commit to the tidying up process. It must become your focus. You must commit time. The second step is to imagine your ideal lifestyle. Like how would you like your daily routine or how else would you like to use your house after tidying up? The third is finish discarding first. Ask if an object sparks joy. This is to get rid of the excessive things at home. Tidying by category, not by location, which means that we will not tidy up room wise, but instead tidy up a particular category of our things. Following the right order, which is clothes, books, miscellaneous things, and sentimental items. We start with clothes as they are easiest to discard, as opposed to sentimental items which are hard to let go. The methods of Marie Kondo have proved to be quite effective, and it is believed that none of her clients resorted to clutter after they tidied up their homes following their principles in true spirit. Therefore, to help you organize your home, we will discuss these principles in detail. The first step to tidy up your home is commit your time. Tidying up the house in parts doesn't bring about the desired changes. There are no shortcuts. You need to tidy up the whole house to experience a progressive change in your life. As a professional, I can only guide you, but it is your journey. Your house has to be guided, organized as per your needs and lifestyle. So, the first step is to allocate a time of the day which you will spend tidying up your house. You can either allocate 2 hours every day or 5 hours over the weekend. This should be a time when you're relaxed and there are generally no pressing matters for you to attend. Also, it's a good thing to inform your family and request them not to disturb you at that time. Like for me, I usually prefer my to organize early in the morning as I am fresh and my family is not active enough to disturb you. So do think of a time that is best works for you. The next step is to make a vision board. This is my personal favorite. It defines why we are committing ourselves to tidying up, what changes we want to bring about our life through this exercise. To put it simply, we begin with the end in mind. The image of a house post tidying up helps you to keep focus and motivates you when you get overwhelmed by organizing your house. The vision should also have specific reasons that I want to have time like to indulge in my hobbies, or I want to be able to invite guests regularly, or I should be able to bake regularly. You can either write your goals or make a collage of pictures to describe your vision. The third step is to finish decluttering or discarding. Now, I would like to start by busting a myth that decluttering means minimalization. When we talk about decluttering, it does not mean that you are expected to live frugally with fewer possessions, but it means that you should not hoard. Decluttering means that you should not keep anything that you don't enjoy using or does not serve any purpose in your life. In the words of Marie Kondo, keep whatever sparks joy. All those who have excessive things at home know that the extra things don't serve any real purpose and can be a nuisance to keep around. And so, why? Why is it that even though we appreciate decluttered and organized space, we cannot bring ourselves to declutter our own space? So, tell me, what stops you from discarding excessive things at home? Do share via the comment section. As a KonMari consultant, I have seen many decluttered homes and have asked my clients what stops them from decluttering. Some of the answers that I have received: the first one, my mess isn't visible, so why should I bother? Some of the houses I have been to have beautiful living rooms, but the cupboards in their bedrooms are overflowing. When I asked them about it, I was told that their mess was never visible to the guest, and so they were never motivated to declutter. But I feel that the primary purpose of the house is to be comfortable for its residents, not the guests. So if you can't find your clothes in the cupboard, or whip out the paper when required, or simply don't feel peaceful at home, it is time to declutter. The second reason I often hear is there isn't enough time. Yes, it's true that to declutter and organize your house, you need to commit a substantial amount of your time. But it's worth the investment when you compare it with the time you save, compare it to the time you spend looking for things every day. One of my clients, she works for almost 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. We decluttered her wardrobe and organized her cupboard based on the utility of clothes like party wear, office wear, night wear, etc. She was thrilled to inform me that she has now cut down her morning routine by at least 15 minutes, as it is easier for her to find clothes. Plus, the way we organized her closet meant that the clothes remained neat and wrinkle free, and there was no need for the hasty ironing before work. And thanks to her clothes being in easy reach, she now wore several dresses that were once lost in the depth of her cupboard. The third reason I hear is we have often spent money on things and we don't want to discard without making use of it. But then think of it this way: if you're not using that thing and they forgotten that thing and you're it's forgotten in the mess of the house, it is equivalent to discarding it. And some of these things even get spoiled when they're stored incorrectly. But when you declutter the KonMari way, when you throw away things even if you have not used them because you really don't need it, you become careful spenders. You keep your existing things with care. And most you are able to make most of the belongings that you have decided to keep. The fourth reason I hear often is we hoard things that we have long stopped using as we believe that we may need them later. You're probably tired of hearing this. If you didn't use a thing for a year, you probably would never need it ever. Well, cliche as it may sound, it is true. For example, some of us, especially women, we store some of our clothes that we don't fit into in the hope that someday we will. For most of the time, either that one day really never comes, or if we do manage to reduce, we end up buying new clothes as the old clothes are usually forgotten and are not usable after a few years. Decluttering not only gets you most out of the clothes that you use now, but also frees up space for you to buy more clothes that you can use right now and not at some later date. The fifth reason is the things are a reminder of our unfinished project. Here's a small example from one of my clients. She's an avid reader with a substantial collection of books. In her pile were some unread books, but because the number of books far exceeded the storage, she could never find those books, and she landed up more books to read. Post discarding, there was enough space in her bookshelf to keep all the books that she wanted to read together with together, making it easier for her to tackle the to read pile. If you genuinely want to use something, it's important to make space for it in your line of sight so that you are motivated to do the needful. This means decluttering and reorganizing to find this perfect space. Sixth reason that I hear is some of us are past of some of the things are a part of our precious memories and we can't let them go. Yes, it can be difficult to let go of sentimental mementos, but think about it. When you keep things out of sight in a storage room, it's equivalent to discarding them. If something is genuinely special to you, then keep it close to you. or display it so that you can see it every day. For example, my son has decorated the inside of his cupboard doors with his favorite cricket attack cards that he had proudly collected but no longer uses. This means he can still keep them around without cluttering his drawers and make it a cool decoration for his room. If you can't find a way to do this, maybe it's time to start discarding them. Hopefully, I've been able to motivate you to take this first step to declutter in the true spirit, really letting go of things that are not serving any purpose. So ask yourself, is there a shift in your attitude towards decluttering? With this in mind, with this in mind, we start with decluttering our clothes. Our first step is to identify the category of clothes that you have. These could be saris, suits, dresses, tops, pants, etc. Take out all the clothes in a particular category that you have chosen to tidy and make a pile on your bed. These clothes may be kept in multiple cupboards at your home, and you need to take out all of them irrespective of where they're kept. This pile is necessary so that you get an idea of the quantum of clothes you have in that category. It will make you appreciate the need to declutter. Now pick up each item and determine if that piece sparks joy in you. But often, it is not easy to determine if an attire sparks joy or not. You can do a couple of things to help you decide the joy angle. Pick up an outfit and hold it close to you. Do you feel that your mood is uplifted? If yes, keep it. If not, you will probably never pick up that attire to wear when you have other things. Or the other thing you can do is pick up three of your favorite outfits and compare the rest with them. Ask yourself, will you wear that outfit even if these three are available? If the answer is still a yes, keep it. You can also ask yourself the following questions to judge whether you enjoy wearing an attire or not. How long have you owned this? When did you last wear it? And how did you feel when you wore it? Are you excited about wearing it in future? Will you try to replace the outfit if it gets spoiled? If it is a gift, have you kept it only out of sense of obligation or does it really match your taste? Remember, discarding involves a dialogue with oneself to continually motivate and challenge your decisions. This is a process of connecting with your clothes. And remember that you need to do this drill only once. Post this exercise, you will become more aware of what you like and what suits you. It will help you get a wardrobe you love and look forward to wearing. Another important change is that you will become more careful spenders, more in tune of what you like rather than just indulge. Going forward, you will still need to discard the clothes that are worn out or don't fit or don't suit your current style, but you will not require to empty your cupboards and organizing it again. You can just go through the clothes once in 3 months to check if there is any dress that no longer sparks joy. After discarding, we need to fold the clothes KonMari way and fold them in the cupboard. Store them in the cupboard. The KonMari way of folding the clothes is truly a unique method as it helps us keep the clothes vertically. Storing clothes vertically gives you a bird's eye view of what you have and makes it easy for you to access them. When we keep our clothes in the traditional way of making a pile, they fall off, making our cupboards look messy. I am now going to show you a video explaining the KonMari folding method. Ashweta, can you please show it? Thank you, Shweta. Okay. Now fold all the clothes that you have decided to keep using this method. Folding clothes is like origami. Do press the clothes with your hand as you fold them. Some of our tops are made of material that are makes it difficult to fold. In that case, just fold them vertically and roll them. We need to organize each type of clothes that we have folded. Same type of clothes should be kept together like this. If you have huge drawers, then I would suggest that you at least you store all your tops in them. However, most of us do not have that luxury, so the best way to do it is to either buy boxes or repurpose existing boxes. Keep the boxes carrying the clothes that you don't use much on shelves that are inaccessible, and the clothes that we use regularly on shelves that are at your height. Further, post arranging your cupboard, do not keep your clean and iron clothes in a hurry. If you don't have time during the week, then take out time on weekends so that you can keep your clothes in the appropriate box. This way, your clothes will not get messy again. If you have any questions so far, please type in the comment section. It is important to understand as this is the basis of organizing all our other category of our things. Next, we organize accessories such as ties, bags, scarves, belts, etc. The principle to organize them remains the same. The first, you first take out all the items that you own in that category. Go through each item and decide whether they spark joy. The ties can be rolled and kept vertically like this. If you are to organize the box bags, keep the smaller bags in the large bags. This way, the large bags do not lose their shape. If you have a large number of scarves, then you can organize them on the basis of color so that you can choose which scarf to wear easily. If you're organizing clothes for your spouse and your children, you need to include them in the decision making. They need to wear those clothes, and so whether an outfit sparks joy or not is for them to decide. The next category we tackle is our books and papers. For those of us who love to read, books are something we revere. They're not easy to discard. But if you have too many in comparison to the storage space, they are scattered all over the place and not kept in good condition. Books that you decide to keep should be kept with respect. The books are generally categorized into following: general books, practical books like cookbooks, visual books like coffee table books, religious books, magazines, and periodicals. To discard the books, make a pile of them. Now pick up each book and ask yourself the following question to help you decide if that book sparks joy or not. What prompted you to buy the book? Will the book enrich your life, or what purpose will it serve? Will you be reading it again? Will you do you require the information given in those books, or is it easily available on the internet? Do the future use of book outweigh the space that it will occupy? These questions will help you decide if a particular book sparks joy or not. Try to not to start reading a book as you will lose precious time. If you haven't read a book, do ask yourself if you're excited at the prospect of reading it. Don't keep a book just because you feel burdened to read it. There are a few bookshops that will take your books, used books, and give you credit to buy a new one, or you can donate the books you have discarded to libraries. As regards organizing paper, as regards organizing the books, keep them category wise. Thus, all your cookbooks or hobby books should be kept on a separate shelf. Unread books should be kept separately, reminding you to pick them up. Remember, as with any other category, you can keep your books organized only if you have the discipline to keep them back. Let's now deal with papers. Take out all the papers that are all over the house and keep them on a table. First, throw away all the brochures or marketing material. If you really want to buy something, there is substantial information available on the internet to do your research. Second, throw away all the reference material that you have collected from the seminars. As in all the probability, you will never refer to them again. Then, throw away all the user manuals. You have probably never used them now and you will not do so again. As regards warranty cards, keep them only if they are unexpired. Throw away all the credit card bills or any other bills that you're not required to keep for accounting purpose. Now let's focus on the papers that you need to keep. These are property papers, insurance agreements, medical reports, papers relating to investments, to accounts, any papers pertaining to any suit you may be involved in. Organize these papers in separate files so that they are easy to find and access. There need not be any order, just be filed in the right file. There is a legal limitation as to the number of years you require to keep your account books or papers relating to a suit. Do consult your lawyer or accountant before throwing away those. Post organizing the papers. If you do not have the discipline to file the paper right away, keep an empty drawer where you can dump all the papers. These papers can then be sorted after a week, 10 days, or even a month, depending upon the quantum of papers you receive. The advantage of keeping a drawer like this is 1. All your unsorted papers have a particular space in your house and they are not all over the place. 2. There is no emergency to sort them out. You can do whenever you have time. 3. If the drawer gets filled, it will force you to sort the papers out. Apart from these papers, there are also some papers that we need to keep for a little while till we address them. These papers can be stored in a clear folder and kept on the top of your desk. It will serve as a reminder to you to deal with them. So, what do you think? Has it become easier to manage your books and papers? Next, we will organize our kids' room, which is normally filled with their books, toys, stationery, and many small things. Now, for this exercise, I would recommend that your children also gets involved. I believe that children from an early age should be encouraged to take some decisions for themselves as well as take responsibility for their belongings. These are important life skills that will benefit your children throughout their life. We start with decluttering their clothes. The older kids will probably be more in tune with what kind of clothes they want to wear, but we will have to help our younger ones. We can show them each outfit and ask them the following questions. Do you like the color of the dress? Do you think you look nice in the dress? Is the dress comfortable or are you able to play comfortably in it? Will you be upset if the dress gets spoiled? After going through a few clothes, the kids will be able to take these decisions more easily. The kids' clothes are small, and when we put them in a pile, they keep toppling over as we take out their clothes. However, if we keep them vertically in a box or a drawer, all the clothes are easily accessible and can be taken out without creating a mess. To keep them vertically, we fold the KonMari way. Do teach your children to fold the clothes. It is easy and they get a sense of pride when they can organize their cupboard. My 8-year-old girl folds her own clothes and keeps them in her cupboard. For kids too, keep each type of clothes in different boxes. This way, they will be able to see all their t shirts, for example, in one go and decide what to wear. If you don't want to invest in boxes or don't have drawers, you can repurpose shoe boxes or boxes of the board games they no longer use. You can also decorate the boxes if you wish. Now, Let's organize their toys. We start with decluttering the board games. Take out all of them from the cupboard and ask their children if they enjoy playing that game. If they truly enjoy playing that game, their face will light up. However, if there is a game that you would like to keep and your child is reluctant, do talk to them and play with them a couple of times. If they're still not interested, discard them later. The traditional way is to stack the board games, but it is difficult to take them out, especially those that are at the bottom. I prefer to keep the board games vertically so that they are easy to access and they're easy to access like this. For them in odd shaped boxes, or if their boxes are not in good condition, I prefer to keep them in pouches. Toys like Legos are difficult to keep them back in their original cardboard box. I use pouches or Ziploc boxes to keep them along with their instruction booklet. Pouches or boxes can also come in handy to keep small things like the gaming cards or any other toy with small parts. Do reuse existing boxes or pouches. Stationery is another item that is difficult to organize. The children do not have the patience to keep the things back in their original packing. Discard all the original packings and organize the stationeries in separate boxes. This way, the kids do not find it tedious to pick up after use. The extra stationery and pencils can also be kept in a separate box so that it's easy to figure out any item that is getting over and replenish it. I also use boxes and pouches to keep organize their knickknacks in their drawers. This way, their drawers do not get messy. As our kids mature, they outgrow their clothes, toys, books, or any other item of interest. So, what do we do with these things? Here are a couple of ideas. For the clothes that don't fit, I've kept them in a basket at the bottom of the cupboard. You can keep them in any inaccessible corner of your cupboard. The benefit is that unusable clothes do not clog the cupboard and you can dispose them immediately. Similarly, for toys, I feel if they can be donated, I keep them separately at a place that is not easily accessible and give them away when it's possible. So, how often should we do this exercise? It is best to do this once a year, probably closer to their birthdays when they'll be getting another batch of toys. This way, they will also realize what toys they have and love and what do they need. Make your children responsible for the upkeep of their room. This will help you notice, this will help you not only keep a tidy home, but also make the children more self reliant and improve their planning and time management skills. So, what do you think? Is it a good way to motivate your children to get involved in their tidying up their room? Now it's time to tidying up the kitchen. It's a difficult category because we have unlimited things in our kitchen, like utensils to cook, serve, groceries, appliances, etc. A well organized kitchen can make your life easier as you can prepare your meals more efficiently, plan your grocery shopping, keep the kitchen clean, and most importantly, it makes your cooking time stress free and enjoyable. We normally categorize the things in the kitchen into three sections: tools for cooking. This includes utensils like pots, pans, bowls, ladles, containers, appliances, etc. Tools for eating, such as dishware, serving pieces, cutlery, and tableware like placement mats, coasters. Third category is food, which includes packaged goods, drinks, flours, pasta, bread, etc. During my sessions, we empty the whole kitchen, go through each item to decide whether it is keep it or discard, and then organize everything depending upon the flow that the client wants in the kitchen. Since I am not aware how you would want your kitchen, I will give you general tips to make your kitchen efficient and easy to maintain. First, we learn to manage our tools for cooking and tools for eating. As usual, we start with discarding the items. So please take out all the items which belong to the subcategory you have decided to organize. Say you have decided to organize containers. Now, we cannot apply the Spark Joy test here as they are more of utility items. So, on what basis do you decide to keep those items? Here are a few questions to ponder on. Is it in a good condition for you to use in front of the guest? Even though you organize for your home for yourself, if you won't use a particular item in front of the guest, chances are you will never use it again. When did you last use them? If the container is damaged, will you go through the trouble of buying another one? How frequently do you use it? Apart from which container to keep, you also need to decide how many containers do you really need. I would suggest that you allocate a place for the containers and check how many containers you can keep comfortably. Comfortably means that most of the containers are visible and accessible. When the things are stuffed into a drawer or a cupboard, we cannot see most of the items we have and tend to use only a handful of items that are kept in the front. Though there is no measure, Marie Kondo recommends the storage space should be only 90% full. You can apply the above principles to any category you may decide to organize. As regards all allocating space for each category in the kitchen, once you've identified which items to keep, you need to put them in the space you allocated for them. Here are a few tips for you to allocate that space. All items of similar nature should be kept together. If you are organizing containers, then all the containers should be kept together. If you have allocated 2 3 drawers for them, then put the plastic, steel, and glass containers separately. This will also help you keep back the utensil at the right place and consequently find them easily. Second, ideally all the tools for cooking should like spatulas, spices, pots and pans should be stored close to the gas stove so that you don't have to move around much while you're cooking. Do try to keep the items vertically so that they are visible and accessible. There are certain places that are not easily accessible. Keep items like large kadai that you don't use often there. This way, the space is accessed, that is accessed regularly, doesn't get cluttered, enabling you to keep the things that you need on a daily basis organized. Similarly, dishware that you only use for the guest can be kept at the back. Utensils that are used for specific purpose, such as baking, should be kept together so that when you need them, you can find all of them at one place. This not only includes utensils, but specific ingredient that you use for baking. Keep your appliances together. These can be kept on the kitchen countertop, but should be kept in a particular area only. The smaller appliances that you don't use regularly should be kept in a cupboard so that the countertop doesn't look cluttered and you have enough working space. Now we tackle the food. This category can be divided into food used for cooking and packaged goods like biscuits, namkeen, etc. for direct consumption. You need to keep these two categories separately. The principle to manage the two categories is the same. Take out all the items that belong to that category, decide if you want to keep them, check their expiry date, check if you will really make the dish using that ingredient or consume the snack. Allocate a space to understand how much food quantities should you store so that you use them before they expire. It will motivate you to try new dishes as all the ingredient can be accessed easily. Going forward, when you replenish your groceries, be mindful of the space in the kitchen. I would recommend that you do not buy the groceries for more than a month. As mentioned earlier, there are some spaces in the kitchen that are not accessible. What I do is I keep the groceries that are not in use that are in use in the shelf that can easily reach and keep the unopened packets at the less accessible shelf in a box. This way, I can easily keep a tab on what groceries are available and what do I need to buy. I also use trays and boxes to organize items like spoons or ladles or small items. I use boxes to keep my sauces together this way. This way I can see all my sauces together and decide which one I want to use. Plus the cupboard doesn't look cluttered with a variety of boxes kept haphazardly. How many of you buy groceries to make a special dish but soon about it? It happened to me use too. Now I try to add it to my to-do list so that I remember to make it before the ingredients I bought expire. Our homes have many miscellaneous things that need substantial space all over the house. The rest of the things can be broadly classified as electronic items, stationery, special goods like Diwali decorations, cosmetics and skincare items, hobby items, cleaning equipment, general tools. The process for organizing them is the same as what we have discussed in earlier sections. First, take out all the items belonging to the category, allocate space in your home where you would like to store that category, discard items that bring you no joy or of no utility to you. Also, you need to be mindful of the space you have for that category as you have to strike a balance between the space that you have and the number of belongings. Keep things vertically in a drawer or in a box so that the items are easily visible and accessible. Things like Diwali decoration can be kept in spaces that are not easily accessible as you need them just once a year. The last category is the sentimental items. This category involves tidying up things that we are emotionally attached to, like photographs or a special gift, and therefore find it most difficult to let them go. However, by the time you come around to tackle this category, you have already honed your skills to decide about which items to spark joy and what you are more willing to let go. Marie Kondo advocates that if you are attached to something, display it proudly so that you can enjoy it looking at it. Keep them where they're lost in the depths of storage space is equivalent to throwing them. For example, if you have too many photo albums, chances are you will never go through them. Instead, select a few photos that are precious and keep them only. One of my clients had memories attached to so many items like the kids' favorite clothes or their drawing. However, after tidying up the whole home, they find a way of letting them go. Apart from the general rules for discarding and organizing your homes, I would also like to give you a few tips to maintain your house that way. You should always keep your things back in the space allocated after use. If it's not possible to do that at that moment, fix a time during the day to do so. You can allocate any time, but I prefer to do it in the evening before sleep so that one, you wake up to a tidy home, two, mornings are generally a rush, so it's one thing less to do. Three, at night the kids also have the time to tidy up their things before they sleep. If you cannot tidy up every day, then try to do it over the weekend. Third, don't overbuy. Think about the space in your home before you buy large quantities of any item. Fourth, allocate space for all the items that you have in your home. Fifth, keep all the items in a particular category at one place only. This will help you know how many items you have and where are they stored. Sixth, store everything vertically. It will help you get a bird's eye view of what you own. It will also be easy to access them and keep them back after use. Eighth, once a week, just clean any drawer or shelf of your cupboard. It doesn't take much time, but it will help you remember what you have and check if you use them. Okay, now some people I meet complain that they are not naturally inclined to keep their home organized, and it is futile for them to go through the trouble of organizing their homes, as they will resort to messy spaces sooner or later. But I always tell them not to be disheartened. They can still organize their homes and keep it that way. Just invest your time to do what I have explained in true spirit. You will notice that not only you are more organized in managing your home, but in other respects of your life as well. There are a lot of positive changes that you will experience after you have tidied up like this. It brings peace and tranquility to your home. Some studies have shown that a person sleeps better if the house is cluttered, is organized. It encourages you to let go of your past. Mentally, you feel lighter and you're more ready to embrace the future. I have especially seen with empty nesters. Once they are able to discard the things left by their children, they felt that they were more at peace and looking forward to indulge in themselves. Third, surround Surround yourself by things that bring joy. Everything that you keep in the house post this exercise sparks joy, and you'll be more willing to use it. It saves you time, as you're not constantly looking for things. You will find that you have more time at hand. It makes you careful spenders. You are more in tune with what you need and how much you need. It helps you efficiently utilize the limited space. Most of us live in apartments and have limited storage space. So when we declutter and organize, we are able to efficiently utilize that space. It helps you focus on things that you love to do instead of dealing with declutter. Most of the clients renovated their homes after they tidied up, something that they have been putting off due to clutter. It helps you invite guests without hesitation. Needless to say, you will be proud of the transformation and you would want to invite people to show off. Hopefully, I've been able to motivate you to take the first step towards tidying up your homes. You also need to remember that it is an overwhelming exercise and it is okay to ask for help. But even if you seek help, it is your journey and no one else can organize this home for you. It is your home and it needs to be efficient as per your requirements. Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience. Do contact me if you need any help with home organizing. Please feel to ask any questions. So I'll take up a few questions. Mansi Malik has asked me how to encourage other family members who are discarding. Yes, Mansi, it is difficult, but once you have take the right steps and the family notice that after you have decluttered and organized your space, how good it feels, what positive changes it brought about in your life, they will get encouraged. The next question, please. Are there any special? So Sandeep Chhate has asked me if there are any special techniques to arrange law journals and books. Sir, for law journals and books, if you do, you I am not sure. I will have to see what kind of storage space you have, or those law journals. Is there any particular category of law journals can you keep separately? Or if the information is on net, will you really look up those law journals to read? So these are a few questions you need to ponder on before we look into this. Are there any other questions? Sanjay Dio has asked, are there any inputs to pack the travel bag properly? Yes, sir. In fact, that's a good question. When I pack my travel bags, I actually keep my t-shirts, my clothes the same way I keep my clothes vertically in a box. This way, when I open my suitcase, I can see all the things that I have bought and pick them up. Usually, what happens is when we keep them in a pile, we take out one thing from below, and the whole suitcase is spoiled, and it's difficult to find other things. And I use pouches to keep smaller items like undergarments or cosmetics or my toiletries. Any other question, Shweta? If there are no further questions, I like to take your leave. Thank you so much.